Shout out to Brock Purdy. Anyways, let's get to the Niners, Colin. Christian McCaffrey, big news. He's probably going to go this week for the Niners in Tampa, coming off the Achilles injury. We haven't got official confirmation whether or not he'll play, and Shanahan is being very coy about his status.
At what point do you think there will be a decision on whether or not Christian plays Sunday?
To, like, publicly kick off.
Not in your mind, what do you need to see from him, or what does he need to tell you?
That he's just Christian McCaffrey, and he's not hurting. But, you know, as long as everything goes well, it has in the rehab. So just as long as he doesn't get sore and have setbacks each day with practice, usually if you get that in practice, that means it's going to be worse in the game. So hopefully he can string together 3 days in a row and not have any of those.
See, Mac?
He's coming back. He's going to have a nice Sunday.
I texted some of the guys on the staff. I think this game will be in headlines on Friday.
This may be a blazing 5 game.
So quick reminder on the Niners. So last year they lost 3 straight heading into their bye. Remember there was the Browns game where they had some injuries? And then the Vikings and then the Bengals. They came out of the bye going to Jacksonville, flying across the country to Florida, and they waxed them 34-3. I have video on my phone saved because I love it. Deebo Samuel coming out of the tunnel before the game, and you can see them. They're dancing. They are all juiced up, ready to go. Smashed Jacksonville, went on a huge tear. Now you're getting McCaffrey back, Deebo back, Jennings back.
Yeah, it's a smash spot, as they say.
Good luck this week, Tampa.
It's a smash spot.
Final story, Colin.
Okay, yeah, I mean, listen. Anyone who wants to debate that Christian McCaffrey is not going to have a massive impact on the 49ers, again, best of luck to you. I'm not having it with you. But, yeah, I mean, it's funny how they ask, you know, oh, when is Christian McCaffrey, is Christian McCaffrey going to play or whatnot? And Shanahan's going to be like, yeah, he's going to play. We're looking to get him 20 carries, and we would also like to get him back to catching some balls. So we're probably going to also minimum, hopefully target him 5 to 10 times, from a receiving end. And it's like, what do you want Shanahan to say at that point? It's just kind of silly, quite frankly. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think that division is set up to get pretty tense. Because the Cardinals, obviously, because of the way how injuries and everything else is shaped up, and just the way how they've been playing in general, they have the leg up. Obviously, they're the division leader. Now you have the Rams, who I think are going to significantly get better as they get healthier, and the 49ers are going to significantly get better. And it's like, if you're a 49ers fan, you have to admit that the Rams are going to get better, because the whole issue that we were saying that the 49ers were struggling was because of injuries. And quite frankly, the Rams also kind of have that same excuse as well. And people think excuse means bad. No, like an excuse is a reason, and a reason is an excuse. So it's all valid and justifiable. So this division is gonna get intense. I mean, it really, really is. I just don't see how that can be denied. And the wild card is already tight, as you can see. 6-2, a 6-2 team, 2 6-2 teams are the wild card. I mean, that's pretty wild. wild card. So it's tight. It's tight. I mean, the 49ers and the Rams, for that matter, they got to start winning, right? So all these games matter. It's going to be so interesting to see, once they're fully healthy, or as healthy as they can get, the 49ers, what they look like against the Bucs. Because we saw the Chiefs struggle with the Bucs, needing overtime, which I said, that's a bad sign. That's not good, right? Like, everybody was trying to celebrate that win as this big monumental thing, especially on First Things First, and it was just like, I'm not going to do it. So to see now the 49ers go up against the Bucs, this is going to be really fascinating, right? It's even on the road, so it's even technically stacked against the 49ers. I know they're coming off a bye, and the Bucs have, a shorter week, relatively speaking. But to me, this will be a great barometer game to figure out, are the 49ers going to get on this run? Were all the people who said, myself including, that the 49ers, once they get Christian McCaffrey back, this team will look significantly different? Because there was this idea, since they got the run game going pretty good with their backup running backs, and were able to kind of still make some noise there, they were like, well, you can't necessarily blame Christian McCaffrey for their lack of success, because look, the run game has been pretty legit. Maybe it wasn't exactly like Christian McCaffrey, but hey, and it's like, Christian McCaffrey obviously does so much more than that, right? And just the presence alone that he gets is just changes defenses. It just changes everything. Not to mention, obviously, what he can also do from just receiving as well. So just game management within game management, game planning, relying on someone like Christian McCaffrey in those key important moments in the red zone, right? All of those things really, really add up to the importance of Christian McCaffrey. I mean, honestly, look at the Philadelphia Eagles this year with Saquon Barkley versus last year without Saquon Barkley. Night and day, right? Night and day. I know that there's other changes that happen for the Eagles, but it just can't be denied how important Saquon Barkley has been. Even if you add another running back and replace him with Saquon, replace Saquon with another running back and you're still getting 110 yards, 120 yards, still not the same. It's just not the same. The constant threat of someone like a Christian McCaffrey, like a Saquon, like a Derrick Henry, just the threat, right? It's like a boogeyman in the dark, right? A monster under the bed, hearing a noise in the middle of the night. It could be nothing, but it could be something. That alone puts defenses on their back foot. Just the way how they have to game plan, how they have to prep, right? Just their own psychology, just their own in-game management. It all matters. That's why people think that sometimes it's just a name, and it's just not always the case. So it's kind of bizarre to me and kind of crazy that people have to be sold on Christian McCaffrey's impact on the 49ers. That's one of the more bizarre, and I'm not saying that they're having that conversation necessarily, but that has been some of the conversation around the 49ers, and it's just like, I don't know. Again, it's like there's a few topics that people kind of try to debate or take the opposite viewpoint, and I'm just like, I don't even really know what to say to you, man. Like, it's like I can't believe that this is actually even, a point of view, a perspective that someone could even remotely hold, and so it's just kind of absurd to me. So I'm really, really excited to have Christian McCaffrey back in the NFL right now. The NFL is definitely bigger than any single player, but when you have a player as exciting and dynamic and as fun as Christian McCaffrey, it's just a better league, a better product, right? It's just better entertainment. I mean, who wants to see the 49ers go up against the Chiefs without Christian McCaffrey, right? Without Debo, without Jennings, without these people that are going to make it more competitive and fun, right? So this should be a get-right game against the Bucks. I think the Bucks are pretty feisty, right? They did stand their ground versus the Chiefs, which I do think was honestly genuinely impressive. I really, really do. And I'm not going to just automatically say, oh, it's because the Chiefs aren't that good or they just had a bad game or not. I think it's just the Chiefs are not as dominant as some people want to pretend they are. And the Bucks, even with all their injuries and Baker Mayfield, have not collapsed, right? They're not winning, but they haven't collapsed. They still got that firepower. They still have that fight and that belief. So I don't know if this game is necessarily going to be a walk in the park that like a -6 makes it kind of look like. But I think that's why I think it's kind of this perfect game, because this is obviously winnable. This is obviously a game that you can and technically should dominate, but it's still not playing like a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Panthers or any of these other games where it's like, man, you're going to roll this team and there's nothing to learn from it, right? There's nothing to learn from you rolling this team. If you dominate the Jaguars, it's like, I don't know what lessons there are to be learned from that, right? Honestly. Or the Panthers, especially in the beginning of the season when, bracing. I know they kind of have a little bit of energy behind them now, but, come on, let's be serious here. So that's why I kind of think this game for the 49ers and Bucks is kind of perfect because of what it offers and, what the 49ers will be able to do and integrate Christian McCaffrey. And I just think it gives them a lot of options and opportunity. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Christian McCaffrey returning with the 49ers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.